Caldwell clamps North. Cedar kicks true. Jones gets sighted. And we're second on the ladder. So let's enjoy it. This is the Sash, definitely not the official podcast of the Essendon Football Club. I am your host, Rob, here with you for the Monday review show. And joining me at Castaway Studios is James. Hello, mate.
G'day, Rob. Good to be back in the studio. Not really sure how to feel about this game. I've tried to be positive. You've just filled me in with some news, which we'll get to later, which has got me feeling now quite negative. But 40-point win, bank it. Second on the ladder, move on.
Jesse, hello.
Fuck, I hate North. I actually hate them. I didn't realise how much I hated them until in my grandfather's Heathmont living room, everyone's enjoying cake around the table, and here's me again, just screaming at the television. And people trying to talk to me about my Japan holiday and everything just going straight over my head. I was fuming. I just was not happy. I was not happy. We got belted in the clearance. I mean, that was really hard to watch. We stooped to their level for large periods of the game. It was good to see that we obviously put them to the sword when we did step up. But, man, every team gets to verse North and they get to win by 80 points. And every year they step up and play their fucking grand final against us.
Yeah.
And look, some would say, yeah, it's great. You know, you get a tough game against North. You know, it's better for the team. Yeah. Honestly, I actually hate those shin-boning pricks so much.
That's good to hear because I'm pretty apathetic to old North Melbourne. Maybe it's like because I lived in North Melbourne for 5 years and I lived around the corner from Arden Street Oval that I just kind of had a soft spot for them because I'd like go to work and I'd walk past Arden Street Oval and be like, God, that's an AFL facility. Oh, geez, every day that's what I do. But yeah, like I understand your frustrations and don't get me wrong. I recalled sitting there watching the game and reading all your messages in our thread, and you were prolific, and I was like, all right, Jesse's not in a good place today. He's clearly upset with this game. But look, there's definitely a vibe amongst the Essendon supporters that they're not happy about it, and there's a lot of people who feel the way you are. There's a lot of people who are over the moon because we're second on the ladder, and you kind of said it there, James. Like we won by 40 points, we banked the points, and I'll guarantee you this: in round 24, when hopefully we're gearing up for the first week of finals, we ain't going to be speaking about this game ever again. Like we did what we have to do and we can just move on from it. So that's the good thing. But there were some concerns and some areas that they were pretty strong in, which will,
don't get me wrong. I'm very pleased about the result and being second on the ladder. I'm not that privileged already as an Essendon supporter. Like I'm not on my high horse or anything, but my point still stands. Can North just fuck off against us? Like, what is this shit rivalry that they're trying to live up to?
I mean, we're there. I mean, I guess we are their biggest rival. I mean,
it's such a joke.
We are. They will tell you that we are.
I don't know if it was a recent comment or an old comment, but I saw something about Glenn Archer talking about them, and he's like, "Oh, we don't name them. We just call them that other club or whatever." And I'm just like. It's like it's that meme of like the guy who's like, I don't even think about you, and that's just kind of.
And no one ever thinks of Glenn Archer anymore. Like you're actually a forgotten player.
He was a gun.
He was a jet.
He was
but like no one ever talks about you, Glenn.
No, time has passed for Mr. Shinbone. But anyway, look, we banked the points. We move on. We can pick up the game.
Second on the ladder.
On the ladder. Like, why don't we just let's just enjoy that because we need to. It's unlikely that we're going to be second on the ladder in 12 weeks' time. So let's enjoy the fact that we are now. And I think it's been I actually don't even know, but it's been a long time since we've been second on the ladder in round 10. So let's enjoy it, everyone. Let's enjoy the fact that you look at the ladder and look at all the teams who aren't in the 8, all the teams who are below us, and the teams who lost to West Coast over the weekend and laugh and go, hey, we're second. This is nice. Let's enjoy it. Let's have fun.
Have you guys seen that meme of, happy learn how to putt? But have you that from Happy Gilmore?
Yeah.
But it's like Bombers learn how to defend. And again, we kept them to 66 points. It's another game where we kept a team under 70 points. And, it was, I think in a lot of ways, we were very fortunate that their bottom 6 or 7 players just genuinely actually don't know how to kick the football straight.
No.
Because if that was any other team that was not North or probably Richmond, we would have lost that game on clearance because the territory that they got against us, which, you know, we can get to in a moment, it's probably better that we talk goods rather than bads, but there was a lot of times where they got us out the back and you saw as most teams do, you sort of cheat yourself, you run off your man to pressure the ball carrier and you take that chance of being able to get to the contest. And there was a few times where we didn't time it very well and they got that one out the back and they just missed the kick completely on the full or
Well, I think we were over 50 points on turnover, which like isn't I wouldn't say very common for the way the Essendon's played this year. I mean, I could be totally wrong in saying that, but that's the thing. That's just their weakness is that they are butchers. And like we said on Thursday when we did our preview, they were like the one thing they are good at is they've got some good contested players in the middle of the ground. If LDU's playing well, if Jerry's winning the ruck, and let's be frank, he dominated Goldie.
He smashed Goldie.
And then some of the other young guys.
LDU was on fire.
You know, your Sheezels.
Fire coming off his boots.
Your Sheezels, your Powells, the other one, Wardlaw.
Jeez, isn't that annoying, Powell, getting 9 clearances though? Like, Will Powell. Who?
It's Tom. Actually, it's Tom Powell.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Point proven. I think.
Point proven. But well,
9 clearances against us.
I mean, look. If they keep those guys together, they might be okay in a couple of years.
That mid will be elite.
Yeah,
it already is good.
It's
probably the best midfield we've come up against all year.
It's weird, but even last year, that game that we scraped by and beat them, it was a very similar thing where we had our younger mid brigade versus their younger mid brigade, and they shot us up at a lot of times. But this, look, at the end of the day, if you claim with the ball, use it well, which is what we did, because there was just that flurry in the third quarter where we clicked, we hit beautiful passes, there was some really good ball movement, and then we just put it in arm's reach, and I mean, we checked out in the last quarter. I think we just shot and said,
we're just queuing the rack.
Yeah, let's defend this lead. Like, they're a bigger fish to fry than North Melbourne. So let's be thankful about that. Before we get into the goods, just a little quick announcement. I am looking for a new sponsor for the show. So if you want to promote your business on the pod, help us keep the video pods going, slide into my DMs. It's a great idea. Do you run a business, James?
I don't. I'm sorry, Rob. But if I did,
damn it,
I'd be sliding right into your DMs.
What about you, Jesse? You run a business, don't you?
I do own a business.
Yeah, cover up the cash.
let's talk.
Yeah,
let's talk brass tacks.
Yeah, let's talk.
At the end.
Let's talk. Anyway, let's get into the goods. People don't want to hear me fucking try and hock the show. Let's talk about the actual game itself. Let's start with the big man, the big 7-seater Peter. Again, I'm gonna be tooting my horn a lot tonight because I feel like I absolutely nailed the predictions on Thursday in the premium show, and I've had a few good ones this year. But picking Zach Merritt to be best on, I don't think is not a big call. But
you trying to cut me down on my knees?
Well, I think I did it like every week for like a month, and it's like, oh wow, it was best on again. I'm like, yeah, well,
I was proud of my prediction with him.
But we said on Thursday, James, we said North Melbourne will not be able to handle the big 7-seater, and that was absolutely true. And he was getting on the end of them, kicking it well until that last term. Really should have kicked 6, but he kicked 4 goals too. And nice to see him hit a bit of form.
Yeah, I think we spoke about it on Thursday. We expected him to have a really good game. He was pretty poor against the Giants, but I didn't think that was because of lack of effort. I thought being at the game, he was in the right spots. He was crashing the packs. It just wasn't his week, and that's what happens in a good forward line. You have to share it around, but yeah, I reckon he had this one penciled in, and 4 goals was probably unders, like you said. I reckon there was a couple left out there. I didn't expect they would play their first gamer. Dawson, was it?
Yeah.
Will Dawson?
Yeah, that's a bit of a baptism of fire right there. It's like, hey, go play on the best forward from another team. I mean, people might say Langford's been our best forward, but probably the hardest matchup, you'd say. But thanks, Clarko. That was nice of you to do that. There's a lot of young defenders who've had a few bars in their time. It would have been nice to get 5+ on him.
He needed a bit of a confidence booster, Peter. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. And we know he loves the roof. We know he loves a nice clean deck. And he definitely loves a 18-year-old, 20-year-old defender.
Yeah. Rubbing the hands together when he was walking out to him. Yeah. I remember seeing the little debut spiel that North put out on their Twitter and Instagram, and Clarko sort of said to him when they announced him playing his first game, you'll be playing on 2 meter, and I thought, that's That's a good joke. And then when they're walking out to position, he's going straight to Peter. I thought, oh, fuck, you weren't joking. And we'd obviously penciled him in for a big game. So you expect Peter to get on the end of a few, and he might be rubbing his hands together this weekend as well, the way the poor Tigers are going. But yeah, I think he's so important for us, and he's going to be second half of the year against some of those better sides. And we know forwards can get their tails up, and if he can kick a couple of bags over the next few weeks, heading into those bigger games, get the confidence up, he'll be dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, an 18-year-old, like that is the dream of a key forward, is to walk onto the ground and see some little teenager like, "G'day, how you going?"
Yeah.
"Hi, Peter," and off you go. Happy days.
Yeah. It's just good to see the spread now of goal kickers in the team. It's been really a long time since, we have one forward down, Aiden Core, which, fuck off, Aiden Core. Why are you playing such a good game on Langford? Where is that coming from?
He was awesome. He was awesome.
He's been one of the worst defenders all year.
I know.
And he just decides to play the game of his life.
He basically put a Giants jumper back on and was like, yeah, I actually used to be really good.
Yeah.
He was phenomenal.
Yeah, again, shin bonus
against
the Dons.
Yeah.
Anyway, but Langford off his game, well held, and then bobs up, kicks 4, should have kicked 6.
Yep.
Stringer probably should have kicked 4 as well.
Guelphy could have kicked 6
as well. Let's probably talk Guelph.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that he's played better. He hasn't played better football for the club than he has this year. And we've really been crying out for a small forward that can play the role that he's played. And it's been a really, really long time that we've had. Probably the only other forward that is reminiscent size-wise of Guelph is probably like a Winderlick. Like, he's not really small forward. He's 182, 183 centimeters, Guelph, so he can still get up, take a hanger. He's good using his body, and he's just really growing in confidence. I haven't seen him with this level of confidence, and it's now adding a dimension to our forward line where, that's the second week in a row he's kicked 3. He kicked 2 against Sicily round 1. So he's playing this defensive role, and he's now becoming really potent in attack.
Yeah.
And the connection that our mids are having with our forwards, our forward line seems to be functioning really, really well. It's becoming, we're becoming a real threat to teams from an attacking point of view. And Guelph on his 100th, I mean, he was probably one of the best players on the ground. So good work, mate.
Yeah, it definitely was. And I think, if he was just doing that defensive work, like if he was just beating a Sicily, just beating a Whitfield, we'd all be like, what a great role he's playing for the side. But he's on top of that, he's doing the goal kicking. Often you might get a small forward who's just kicks him from everywhere but doesn't do a lot defensively, whereas he's doing it all. Like, it's everything that you want from him. I didn't see this coming. I looked at him at the start of the season. He's out of contract this end of season. I was going to like, okay, this is a big year for him. This is a do or die for your career in a way. If contract year Stringer is a thing, I think contract year Matt Guelphy might also be a thing as well.
For sure.
Yeah, he does a lot of work off the ball as well. That's something I've really noticed being at the games. I didn't go this week, but last week in particular, the work he does off the ball to give Langford that extra metre, to give Wright an extra metre. So I think we've always known that he's happy to sacrifice his game and play that defensive role. 6 goals the last 2 weeks. It's nice to see him get on the end of a few. And, geez, his set shot kicking, touch wood, looks at peace. Like, he looks really comfortable going back. He's got a nice routine. And, he always brings that toughness and that work rate with him. And I reckon Brad Scott would be sort of, we've got more than a few playing that style now, but Guelph's always sort of flown the flag from that side. So it's nice to see a few come with him, and he's going to be really important for us going forward as well. Hopefully he can stay on the park.
Yeah. How old's Guelph? 26? 25, 26?
20. He'll be 27 in August.
Yeah, so prime.
Prime age. This is where you should be playing your best footy, and he is.
Yeah.
He absolutely is, and because I remember when he started, like he he was almost like a bit of a small utility player, like
wing,
halfback flank, half forward flank.
Yeah,
I remember there was that
sometimes
one
to the middle.
Yeah, maybe there was that one game he came on as a sub and just had like an absolute berserk, like 10 tackles. Well, it might not even 10 tackles. It was some
10 disposals.
It was some crazy. It was some crazy sub game in the final quarter, and we were like, "Oh wow, this is it." But yeah, like he's gone from being a player who I was like, "Oh, maybe they're like 20 to like 25, 26 in terms of the talent in the side," but now you're going, "Oh no, like you're first 18 right now, no question about that." So yeah, no, I'm absolutely stoked for Guelph. Great bloke as well, and I mean, we spoke last week about all the charity stuff which he was doing. I mean, I was almost wishing he had the nails done again. Just do it every week. Why not? While we're talking forwards, I mean, I did think the package had a pretty decent game. I think what we need to do with him is just tell him to go stand 50 metres on the boundary and not move from that position when he's playing forward, because just don't go 30 metres in the goal, Jake. Just stay at the 50 mark. That's Jake's corner, and then you just take shots from there and just keep dobbing them. Because
loves it from there.
It's funny. Like every time he marks it there, whoever I'm with, whether it's someone at the ground or I'm at home with my son who doesn't understand what I'm saying, I'll go, he's going to kick this. And you know what?
He does.
He does.
I feel like a lot of our forwards struggle from inside 30 metres. Wright was struggling from inside 30. Langford struggled from inside 30. Guelph struggled from inside 30. Stringer.
40 to 60. That's how we do our best work.
It is. It really is. Nah, he was good. He's just probably trying to be a bit of a hero sometimes, String. I feel like over the past couple of weeks, I mean, you don't want to take it away from him because it's a part of his game.
No.
But also, maybe give a handball once or twice.
Well, I don't know. I feel like you're allowed to have one of those players in the team.
Yeah.
And I think he's the one who's it's allowed to be.
Yeah.
Because like Ben Hobbs will try and do it and he'll be like, no, Hobbsy just gives the hands, mate. Just give the hands. But Paco, that's... He gets given the license at the start of the season, which says, I have the license to be a bit of a dick to everyone on the field.
U-turn and not handball.
Yeah, U-turn block. There was that one where he took on like four of them.
He had about 5 blokes on him at the end and just gave up.
It reminded me of like Neo when he's versing all of the Agent Smiths and they're all just piling on top of him.
Yeah, exactly.
He got massacred there.
Yeah. I think, it's funny. I had him as probably my best on.
Stringer.
If not closer. No, the person I'm about to mention, not Stringer. And once again, the coaches' votes come out, and he's very low down. Jai Caldwell, in my opinion, I don't know. I thought he was the best player on the ground.
Easily best on ground
and
for
he's
us,
and he got
at least.
and he got 2 coaches' votes. I thought he played.
Brad just doesn't back him.
Well, the other coach doesn't back him. I don't know. Because Peter Wright got 10, LDU got 7, Jerry got 5, Guelphy 3, Caldwell 2, McGrath 2, Nick Martin 1. So
Peter Wright got 10.
Peter Wright got 10. So someone's given someone's given LDU 4 and 3. Someone's given Jerry, I think, 4 and 1.
Wait, LDU got 4 and 3. So
LDU got 4 and 3. Jerry got 4 and 1. Guelphy got 3. Caldwell got 2. McGrath got 2. Nick Martin got 1.
Wait, so LDU and Cherry were the next 2 best on the ground according to the coaches.
Yeah, I had Jerry as North Melbourne's best player. Like I thought he'd change the game for them because he smashed Goldie. But LDU as well. Like it's kind of a package deal. If the ruckman's dominating, you're probably going to get it to your best.
Felt like just
player.
Being the lobster shack guy off Happy Gilmore and driving onto Marvel with a Volkswagen Bug and just running into Cherry. Yeah. I really felt like running him down.
Yeah.
I felt like running running through him. He was really annoying me. The big ogre, like when's he's not going to play a game like that for the rest of the year.
Yeah, well, I mean,
he's actually been playing all right.
Yeah, he's been playing all right.
Yeah, we just don't watch Noel, so we don't notice it. But
still, piss off.
He was good.
Yeah, but I feel like for him, it's like he's coming in to ruck against the old bloke who he's just ousted.
Yeah.
The
protege.
Yeah, basically. And then we play Goldstein with like this. We miss Draper in this game. Yeah. Like this is where we really miss Draper, just to be really big and physical and try take that a bit away from Jerry, because as great as goalie's been, I don't think he's not a brute of a ruckman. Like, he's very much more about technique and stuff like that. And yeah, like the reason they were so dominant stoppage is because of the ruckman. He set the tone
big time.
and then obviously LDU does what LDU does. Anyway, back to Jai Caldwell. I thought he was amazing. I thought his centre work was great. I thought he was really good getting involved in forward transition. It felt like often that when we needed to look for someone who, funnily enough, he was playing the Darcy Parish role, whereas we needed someone to get it to in the middle of the ground. Usually that's where Darcy Parish is standing, but in this game it was Caldwell. And he used it beautifly.
How good is his kicking inside the forward 50?
It's fantastic.
He's almost the best kick inside forward 50 in our team. And I'm saying merits. That's including merit.
Yeah, wow.
Like he can kick the ball at head height, like 45 meters.
Yeah, well, I'd say like him, obviously merit. I reckon Perkins would be in that conversation.
Yeah.
And then when he is kicking inside forward 50, I mean, it probably used to be Nick Martin, but I know he's had a few bad weeks by foot, I think.
He was pretty good over the weekend, though.
His
When
standards,
he played in the third quarter, he bit off.
Well, I think it was actually
a couple of good kicks.
Well, those three in that third quarter, I feel like that was where they just went bang. And yeah.
Which we love, the young bloods.
Yeah, this is the thing. We only have to play one good quarter to win this game.
Yeah.
That's all it required. Premiership quarter, do it in the third, ice the fourth. Move on to the next
I can't believe
week.
he only got 2 votes. Yeah. He'll get recognised one day. He just needs to keep doing it.
Yeah, I mean, he had 9 clearances, 4 centre clearances, 6 inside 50s. I mean, his kicking efficiency wasn't as good.
He had 9 score involvements, so I think that backs up what we were saying.
That's pretty good, yeah.
In what was a relatively scrappy game from the majority of it, apart from that period in the third.
Yeah.
His decision making and kicking stood out. And there's a couple of times where he sort of got the short pass, and he actually had the, initiative to look inside where we had players open, but everyone was sort of just taking that short 15-meter pass.
Yeah.
He sort of took the initiative on himself to have a look inboard a couple of times, and 9 score involvements when it's in his hands. Good things are happening.
But again, it's not necessarily what he does with the ball; it's what he does off the ball and the perceived pressure and the contested work. I felt for large periods of that game we were very un-Essendon-like in terms of how we've been this year. Our ground ball game has been fantastic. I think we're sort of rated 2nd or 3rd in the AFL for ground ball gets. We got absolutely towed up over the weekend in the first couple of quarters. I felt like, regardless of Cherry winning the taps, it felt like there was always 4 North Melbourne players at the drop of the ball picking it up. And Caldwell was really one of the only players that was looking like he was wanting to put his head over it and try and make a contest. There was that tackle in the 4th quarter against Wardlaw, who's very difficult to tackle, holding the ball.
Good player.
He just brought that edge.
Oh, bit of edge, sir. Bit of edge.
Bit of edge.
Bit of edge.
He was great.
He was great, yeah. And we've been singing his praises defensively for what feels like months now. Obviously, him and Hiram Durham really is changing the way our midfield looks, but he's doing it both ways with ball in hand as well. You got a good for me, James?
Yeah, you mentioned him just before, but I thought Archie Perkins was really good in this game. I feel like he's quietly come back into the team after having a few weeks out, and feel like he's been really consistent all year. But I thought with Merritt being tagged in this game, obviously Parish being laid out and does not really being able to get into it, and then obviously getting injured, I thought Perkins alongside Caldwell, they really stood out. He had 22 disposals, 11 contested and 6 tackles.
Nice.
And then he had 27 pressure acts.
Ooh.
So I feel like that defensive side of the game, I said it earlier on in the year on one of the pods as well, he's not something we've associated with Perko, but I think he's one of those guys that kind of sum up the changes that we've made in the off-season under Scott. He's clearly buying into that side, and it's making him a better player on the offensive side as well.
Yeah.
Thought his disposal was really, really good. Love him bursting out the front of that stoppage from the centre clearances and delivering bullets.
He loves that.
Looks so good when
And you know he's either going to lay someone out or put it straight through.
Delicious.
It's getting a bit hot in here, Rob.
Oh, I have to take my jumper off. Jesus.
So yeah, I feel like, you know, Merritt was obviously tagged
Yep.
in this game. It's now no longer that our midfield just completely comes to a halt. Caldwell steps up, Perko steps up, does, you know, did his bit for half the game. Yeah, sort of a lot of confidence in how we bat deep in that midfield now.
Yeah, like I remember after the Hawthorn game, I referenced this 'cause obviously he was best on ground in that game, and how when I interviewed him back in, was it November or December? Anyway, end of last year, one of the things he said to me was, he goes, I said, oh, what do you need to improve on? He said, what we've been working on is how I can influence the game, basically, but essentially just try not to get lost in traffic and being able to make sure I get to the next place to influence it, because it was very much, you know, at a stoppage, see ball, get ball, can do that. Great with the ball, but it often was when the game was flowing, he kind of wasn't getting involved that much. And it feels like in the last, you know, year, they've really worked on that for him and probably a lot of other players as well. And he is just finding himself more in positions to actually influence the game, either offensively or defensively, because, yeah, I think often, obviously the case with young midfielders, they'll have these great moments where they're, you know, at a stoppage or someone gives it to them and they're great, but then suddenly 10, 15 minutes will go by in a quarter and you're like, what happened to this kid? Like, I haven't seen him. And then you look and it's like, oh no, he's been on the park. It's just that hasn't been able to find his way into it. Whereas, Perkins has absolutely grown in that area and, you know, keeps making an impact, which we love. So
Yeah. The three backs, Heppel, Laverty, and Redmond.
Yep.
I want to shout out.
Yep.
I feel like they all had really good games.
Heppel was great.
Really, really good. He's been such a rock for us this year in defence, and, you know, was prone to still a few Heppel moments, but the good is definitely outweighing the bad.
Kelly was good.
Kelly was okay. He was definitely, he had a good influence on the game. He had 21 disposals, which is really good for him. It was a bit fumbly at times, but, you know, that's me being very critical. I really think the entire defence as a whole, other than probably Ben Mackay, you could tell he struggled with adapting to the game. Obviously, there was, as you said, maybe, you know, a bit of pressure playing up against the old mob. Look, he still kept Larky to only one goal, as far as I'm aware. So that's, you know, that's a tip.
Oh yeah, he was like he wasn't bad by any stretch,
he
but
dropped a lot of marks
Yeah.
that he would normally have taken. But again, just in general, it's going to be such a difficult defense to crack into, because when you look at it, like, Laverty played really well again. Like, he's back. His form has gone from being really poor. He was one of the best defenders, if not probably our best defender on the day in the back line. Like, he was such a rock. His ground ball gets were great.
He's playing. The last fortnight, he's played like a man who knows his spot.
His life depends on it.
Basically, yeah, because he knows that Jordan Ridley is coming into the team this weekend. I think we all expect that to be the case. And it's just a question of who's coming out.
So let's talk about it. Who do you reckon is going to come make way for Reed?
I mean,
and does Reed come in as well?
I don't. I think no on Reed. I think
Reed as well.
I think Reed will have more time in the VFL. I think they've, knowing just his issues with fitness that he's just had for such a long period of time.
Give him a block.
Just go play a month before in the VFL and don't get hurt, because in the VFL we can manage you and we can tweak it and do it as finely as we want. But in an AFL game, coming into a month from now when we start playing, you know, Carlton and Melbourne and Geelong, like, we don't want to be managing a kid, you know.
Yeah.
So for him, more time. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, I guess you could look at who we're playing against if there's a matchup there. But look, I think it is still Laverty who's coming out. Not
Kelly. You wouldn't play Laverty in Kelly's role?
I think Kelly's done enough this year playing as this lockdown small defender that's his position at the moment. And I'm yet to actually see Laverty do it, to be honest. Like, I think he's better in that sort of mid-size role, or even playing, you know, above his weight. Because, like, Redmond's not coming out. like, all right, in a scenario, Heppel might need to get managed at some point in the year. Maybe that's a scenario that could happen, but
do they move Martin up the ground?
That is the other one as well. But I feel like Martin will stay there because that was, pre-season, that was the setup they had. Martin and Ridley were both there. So I think, unfortunately, it is going to be Lav who makes way. Who knows? Maybe plays as the sub or something because, he once played as a forward a long time ago. But I think, despite how good he's been, I think it is... Rids. Oh, sorry, Laverde. Sorry. Thoughts?
Agreed. I think best 22, Laverde makes way. And it's nothing against Lav. I agree with what you've both said. I think his form the last few weeks in particular has been really good. And again, you want to talk about someone that buys into doing the team things and putting his body on the line. I don't think anyone's ever questioned Lav's commitment to the side, but there's obviously a ceiling there skill-wise. And I think on the offensive side, he lets us down a little bit.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with you, Rob. I think Heppel's going to have to be managed at some point and have a week off. Whether that's this weekend, probably doubt that he wants to be sitting out Dreamtime.
He's lost enough Dream Times that he wants to be playing this one, I'm pretty sure.
He looks good, though. It looks like he's covering the ground.
He looks great.
He's actually, gliding along the ground. I haven't seen him cover the ground as well as he has this year. He normally looks like he's labouring. You can see he's labouring across the top of the
Well, he's
surface.
had all those foot and ankle problems.
Yeah.
And speaking to
he looks light though.
Speaking to Dr. Damo whenever he's on the pod, foot injuries are just
they're shocking.
They are the death knell of any athlete's career. They're so hard to fix. They take so long. And yet it kind of looks like now he's over it. The only other scenario I could possibly think of without Laverde coming out or someone being injured or managed is that, we send Jake Kelly back to his natural role on the wing.
Oh, no.
He was already too high up the ground for my liking this week, I thought. That's why, 21 possessions. He was getting more of it than I like.
But if we're picking the side now for next week, I have Ridley coming back into the team.
That's actually what's going to happen. You've now said it. It's going to happen.
Yeah, but
Kelly's going to the wing.
No, well, I was going to say, if we're making 2 changes for this week, I have Ridley coming in and I have Nick Cox coming in.
Yeah.
And then I have Sardis coming out and then probably Laverde coming out unless that other scenario.
And Shiel coming out? No.
Well, Parish if he's fit for Shiel, depending on that.
Yeah. I don't think Parish is going to be fit.
Yeah, I get that vibe. And I don't know if it's Shiel or if it's Sardis, but who else came out? Someone else was laid out? Or am I missing? I'm looking at the team and trying to remember who it was.
It was Parish and Cox.
Yeah, it was Parish and Cox. Yeah. So, I don't know. Cox is in. Ridley's in. Maybe Parish is in. I think Sardis comes out, though. I don't think he's up to the level right now. I think he needs more time, to be honest. I know he's a high pick and all that, but kid's young.
He looked very off the pace.
Yeah.
Over the league. And look, there's only so much you can expect of a player that's played. Has he played under 10 games?
Yeah.
He's
very
definitely...
little.
Yeah, he's under 10. But he turned the ball over a lot by hand, which is usually his strength. You could... I don't know why. It's not even... I understand that North was actually putting on a pretty good amount of pressure, but he just made some... There was a few turnovers that should have led to North Melbourne goals off his handballing, in the corridor and near that half-forward arc. So, he just needs to continue getting runs on the board in the VFL.
He just needs to grow. And
it's difficult as well because he's been playing full-time on ball in the VFL, getting 35 touches playing his inside game, which is his bread and butter. And then he comes into the AFL side and doesn't get one centre bounce attendance. Yeah. So he's got to evolve and find his role after playing inside mid and beating up on VFL players. So that's a really hard challenge. And I speak about Ben Hobbs sort of finding a new role this year as that sort of high half forward come up to the contest. Sardis is going to take some time to find his role because you're not cracking into the AFL side's midfield the way that we're rolling at the moment. So that's his challenge. I think he probably comes out this week though.
Yeah, and if he's playing on the wing, which he was, and I know there's a lot of people who doubt Nick Cox, but Nick Cox is infinitely more important on the wing than he is. It offers so much more to our game, particularly with marking and all that kind of stuff. So, that's probably the big change.
I love hearing that. Just words that we've wanted to hear for a while.
Nick Cox is great.
He's
my man.
He's my man as well. He's definitely become my man.
No. He's my man.
I'm jumping on the
we're
wagon.
We're on first name basis, Nick and I.
Yeah.
I mean, he met me
NIC.
once. He met me once, but we're on first name basis.
Nah, Cox, he's been great. He's been so good. Really rated him this year.
He looks like
Daddy long legs.
Daddy long legs, but it's also funny because there's every game that he's played, there's one of those moments where the ball will be like rolling on the ground, often into a boundary, and it'll be him and a guy half his size. And
he wraps his hands around the front of them with the daddy long legs reach, and he's like holding both back.
Yeah.
There's been a few two on ones, and he's just put the big reach over the small boys.
Yeah, you're waiting for him to just grow 2 more arms and just grab the footy with those, and off he goes. But yeah, like he doesn't look like someone who is physically imposing, but actually has been doing a little bit of it this year, albeit usually against pretty small players.
He's actually heavy now. He's like 95 kilos or something along those lines, which is heavy. But he just doesn't look like it.
No. That's just the problem with being 200 and whatever centimetres tall that he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, keen to have him back in the side. Any more goods from you, Jess?
Yeah, I thought that Nick Hind was really good.
He used it really well.
He was really good by foot. He looks good on the wing.
Another player who a month ago we were pulling our hair out, and in the last 2 weeks has played some pretty handy footy.
Him and Davey were interchanging playing on the wing, and they both looked really good when they were on the wing. They added that speed on the wing is something that we've lacked this year, and I mean he's not going to continue playing there, but if there is a rotation where we can have Hind playing on the wing more regularly, there was so many times where that was like the old Nick Hind, where he's in traffic, taking bounces, slipping in between players, getting out the front, and then hitting a dart, like someone on the tit.
Yeah.
Pretty low percentage kick, and he's biting it off and hitting it. Just a Nick Hind that we haven't seen before. The contested side of his game isn't something that we haven't really seen before, and he's really putting his head over it. And, it's great to see the competition for spots. This is a luxury that we've never seen. Well, we haven't seen for a really long time, where players really are every week playing for their spot, and you can see it. It's bringing out the best in a lot of players. Davey hit the scoreboard again. He got involved in a few chains. The problem with Davey, just like a lot of young players, he's not involved enough. He's playing in a position which limits his ability to get around the ball. But you definitely do see him one day, if he has the ability to play up the ground, having, a pretty significant influence. So, yeah, I thought both those players had really good contributions.
Yeah, Davey, he made the most of the very few opportunities that he got. But like you said, it felt for me watching on TV that for the first half of the game, he was just nowhere. But then there was that patch, to be honest, when the team really clicked in the third quarter, and then he did some really good things, obviously kicked a goal. And then I was like, oh, he's actually had a good contribution to the game. Whereas sometimes, it's the same thing I was going to talk about with Perkins, just with young guys, they can just
get lost. Yeah.
Young guys can just get lost. And if you're playing at forward pocket, that is the easiest place to not touch the ball.
Yeah.
Because, you just don't get many looks. And we know he doesn't have a strong contested game. So, he is reliant on someone giving him the ball. He's not going to go win a hard footy himself. It usually has to be out the back or on the ground for that sort of to happen. But yeah, I'm like you. I thought he was okay. And, until Ajay Menzies is fit and, has had some weeks in the VFL, I think it's unlikely to see him come out of the side because he's a pure small that they want to have someone playing that sort of role. Did Menzies play VFL on the weekend?
He should have.
I thought he did.
Yeah, because he's not listed. I mean, I was just looking at the injury list. He's not listed. So he
played the previous week as well. So
okay, so he's had a couple of weeks now. So he's probably not far off. So it's a nice problem to have.
Does he push Davey out, do you think? Based on the form that we've seen Menzies produce earlier on in the year, which I thought was pretty lackluster, to be fair. Does he push him out of his role right now?
Not right now, no. But I'm sort of thinking if there is anyone to take him out of the position, it's someone who actually plays his role. Like I know that there'll be a lot of listeners being like, "Oh, we should play Sash or we should play Hobbs." They're not small forwards. They're not small forwards. We've actually, the reason the game plan is working is that for once in our recent history of Essendon is we're actually playing a nice group of smalls who pressure the footy. Gresham's obviously
Quick.
number 1, Guelphy's number 2, and then Davies number 3. And then you can even throw a Hind in there if he happens to play in that sort of role. So, yeah, I mean, he would want to be doing some pretty good work in the VFL, but having a quick peruse here, I mean, I don't even see his name on the list. Did he play? Like, he's not listed on the injury list.
Did play.
He did
had
play.
13 disposals.
There you go. 13 disposals, no goals.
Didn't hit the scoreboard.
Yeah, so he's not coming in anytime soon. But,
Nah.
you know,
Can I,
could be Jaden one day, maybe. Who knows?
is it your birthday today?
It is my birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, mate.
Thank you.
I just saw that on Facebook.
Oh, you
Nearly got away with it.
Nearly got away.
Yeah.
Nearly snuck it in.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, mate. 33.
Exciting.
It's
Really exciting year, isn't it?
Oh, it's thrilling. Thrilling. I mean, am I officially in my mid-30s now?
Nah, you're still early 30s.
I'm still early 30s. I'm still early 30s, yeah.
Yeah.
I went to an engagement party on Saturday night, and like, it's the most I've drunk since baby. My God, being hungover with the kids sucks.
Oh, I've
Sucks.
heard it's not good.
I was at like 4:30 in the morning. I'm like feeding a kid just with like a throbbing headache, and I'm like, why did I have 6 glasses of red wine? Like, what was I doing? Like,
The depression's really kicking in.
oh, like at what point did like surely some sensible part of my brain would go, hey, have a glass of water? And I was like, hey, no, another Shiraz, please. Thanks. Yeah, having a great old time. But no.
Well, happy birthday to you.
Thanks, mate.
I also just read some news that Parish is supposedly sidelined for 3 weeks
Ooh.
with a calf injury.
Where's that been reported?
Just on a Nuffy page, so we have to take that with a grain of salt.
Okay.
but
Seems more accurate for us, doesn't it? 1 week for a tight calf. That's not
3 weeks.
That's not
sounds
Essendon
more
like.
plausible.
But
It's the same calf. If it's the same calf again, man,
he's got
put
like
him on the table.
I mean,
Chop him up. Glue factory.
yeah,
Nah. We'll sell him off to a wholesaler for a good
wholesale
price.
for
For good deals.
good price. Good price. Yeah, no, like it's frustrating because I'm not sure if you guys remember, but the preseason game against Geelong, I watched that game. At the end of the game, my number one thought was,
Brownlow.
gee, Darcy Parish is looking good.
Yeah.
And then what does he do? He pings that same calf again. So
I don't think his body's up to it. I just don't know. I think there's 2 things. He's too heavy. He looks significantly heavier than when he had that really good year. He's put on a lot of size to become a contested beast. Look at what happened with Lance Franklin. When Lance Franklin was pinging all those injuries, he was really heavy. He went to Sydney, he dropped like 5 or 6 kilos, and he just was injury free. And there's a lot of
he did that last few years. He was on the massage table the whole time. But yes,
but he held up quite
Yes.
well for
I mean, he
a 2 or
played-
3 year period.
he played a
dropping
long
that
time.
weight, and
Yeah.
maybe Parish just needs to drop a few kegs and play a little bit lighter again.
yeah, I don't know. Look, I'm not. I'm obviously not in the medical field, so maybe I think Damo's on the show on Thursday, so I'll ask him about that because I don't know. It's not like when you. I don't know. I feel like a calf's not a kind of injury that you go in for surgery for. I don't feel like you go in for surgery for a calf.
Well, don't say that because it's going to happen now.
It might happen now. Get the butcher's knives out. We'll get into some bads. I guess we can talk about this now. So, Harrison Jones has been offered 1 match suspension for a tackle that I thought was a great holding the ball tackle. Now,
You haven't seen this yet, Jesse.
Derek's, I think, I've asked him to have it.
Oh, I know this exact tackle. This is
Yeah.
the biggest holding the fucking
Yeah,
ball.
the
Yeah,
travesty is it
ever
wasn't
known.
a fucking free kick for us.
Yeah, so
Just watch
yeah,
him get
let's,
a week.
Yeah, so
He's been
let's
off for
get
the
it
week.
up.
But we're not.
Can we full screen?
Yeah, just bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, like, so he's come in, he gets him, bit of momentum and pulls him over. Like,
He hasn't even gone directly
He
to
doesn't hit him-
ground. He
doesn't hit
sat
him
him on
head.
his ass and then rolled him
yeah,
over his own body weight.
yeah. Like, that's holding the ball. That's like,
Holding and
I was
slam.
taught that was holding the ball. Like, I know it's changed a bit now, but I don't know.
How is that a bad tackle? I'm sorry,
I don't
but if
know.
this league is reducing us to suspending players for that, he didn't slam him. Yeah, he spun him in the tackle, but that's holding the ball, and
Yeah.
you can't. We're lost as a league
Hmm.
if we're going to punish someone for that tackle. Completely and utterly lost. We're in the wilderness, post-apocalyptic world. Umpires ruling.
Fallout, yep.
Yeah. And umpires are the enemies, and you can't leave your shelter without them pinning you
Yeah.
for a few weeks in the sin bin.
Yeah, I don't like it. You know, I was always taught that was a beautiful tackle and that was holding the ball. And that was my first thought. I was like, gee, Jonesy, what a great tackle.
Surely we get off. Surely we win one.
No, sure, we actually go to the tribunal and appeal it. And
100%.
And not go, oh, don't want to spend the 10 grand. No, let's spend the money. I'll start a GoFundMe if we have to. Like, I know it's part of the soft cap, whatever, but we'll start a GoFundMe to send in the tribunal. Yeah. They have to make a decision by 11 a.m.
Is Harry Jones a good bloke? Can
Harry Jones
play the good bloke card?
Harry Jones is a great bloke.
He seems like a good bloke.
I'm pretty sure I saw him down at St Mary's House of Welcome feeding the homeless this morning. So, you know, I think he's one of the greatest people going around.
That was cited post game
by the MRO, our old friend, the MRO.
The one exception to the rule seems to be if there's a concussion, right? They don't usually look at the act so much. It's usually what's the result of the action, what's the outcome. He's been concussed. He got straight up.
Yeah, the outcome is he went and had 31 disposals and had a totally okay game.
Who was that?
Zach Fisher. Yeah. Like, had a pretty good game, you know, comparatively. So,
what is he meant to do though? There, realistically. What is Harrison Jones meant to do in that situation? Not spin him. Is that what they're saying?
Touch, got you.
Yeah, seems like it. Now.
Just play. Is it flag football? What's the one where you had you have the little thing hanging out your backside and they grab it and that's it. Yeah,
probably what it will come down to.
That's basically where we're at.
The tackle that Heppel laid on that other player straight afterwards is just as bad.
Yeah,
he's pinned both of his arms and slammed him into the deck head first. I just don't understand the difference. Is it this? It's the slinging motion, obviously. It's the 2-motion tackle, but you have to spin people at times in order for them to incorrectly dispose of the ball. It's a momentum thing. You're pulling yourself down to the ground. You're bringing the person to the ground with you. I just
umpire's right there. He hasn't paid a dangerous tackle.
No,
yet he's got a week for it.
Yeah. Baffling. Purely baffling.
I'm actually going to sharpen the pitchforks and get the torches ready in the angry mob if he gets a week for that.
All right.
I'm going to be heading down to MRO.
Mob.
Do you think we'll challenge it? Well, I know we want to challenge it. Will the football club challenge it? Or will it be that same feel from Redmond where Scott...
We'll be heading to the club with the pitchforks if they don't.
I'm like most of us. I'm very pro Brad and the football department at the moment because we're doing a lot of really good work. But I'll be really upset if we get some talking down to thing about how no, this is what it is. When like with the Redmond one, the same action happened with someone else and they fought it and they got off. Like, fight for your players and actually fight for the fact that this is, like you said, Jesse, this is injustice for the game. How badly this is being adjudicated. You know, if Mert was here, he'd start calling Brad an AFL plant. But you know, we're not going that nuffy today. So, but yeah, look, hopefully he fights it. Any other bads from you guys? Like, I mean, we kind of touched on the contested stuff and how Jerry touched up Goldie, but like, is there anything else you want to delve into, or do you want to take a break?
Can I just do a really quick one? Might be a bit harsh because he was the sub and he came on for a quarter.
Oh, we like being harsh, don't worry.
All right, we'll be harsh. We'll be harsh. Mr. Dylan Shiel has come on in the last quarter against the worst side in the AFL and played an entire quarter on ball, including centre bounce attendances, and had 2 disposals, one of which was a clanger.
Yeah.
He did not look like a bloke that has been playing twos and just cracked into the side. He didn't seem to be playing with intensity. I don't know, maybe I'm being harsh, maybe we put the Q in the rack, but I thought for a bloke that's been trying to get into the side and gets the opportunity to come and, you know, tear the game apart when everyone's a bit fatigued, just sort of looked like he was going through the motions. I don't know what you guys thought, but...
He just doesn't seem like a sub player to me. He doesn't seem like the kind of player who influences as a sub. Like, I feel like he's kind of got to be there from the start, but... Yeah, he did not... Like, like most people, I'm like, oh, here's his opportunity to show that he can crack back into the side, but yeah, he has reaffirmed any belief I've had that he isn't in the best 22 right now.
It's a seriously tough role to come in and execute after such a long time out of the game, and I think it's probably a little bit harsh. Like, we're nitpicking on him there. I mean, you have to give him a full game.
That's
or at least a half to try and see where he's at. I mean, he'll be better for the run, but I don't really think that his form warranted him even being selected as a sub. He's been quite average as he's been decent in the VFL. Like he's been averaging sort of like low 20s, mid 20s. I would say the better selection would have been probably playing Sardis in that role rather than Shiel. But then again, like who's covering Sardis on the wing? I'm not really sure. I just don't really know if Shiel will feature this week with all of the ins that we have. He'll probably get pushed back out into the twos.
Yeah, I think so as well. Looks like a guy hasn't played a lot of footy in a long time, which is pretty fair. So, anyone else? Or want to take a break?
Let's take a break.
All right, we'll take a break. Back after this. Welcome back. Part 2 of the show. It is time, of course, for hot takes. Now, I've got something for you, boys. You ready for this? Have a listen to this.
Thanks, Rob. It's that time of the week where we get some totally rational and well-adjusted opinions onto the pod. On the Sash, it's Hot Takes.
Hot Takes.
Nice.
How's that? How's that for a little intro?
The sting.
How's that?
Who put that together?
That was John. Thanks, John. John hit me up, and he's a voice actor. I recognise his voice. He's I've definitely heard him on some radio ads. And he was just like, "Hey, I'll do one for you." And then we had a few emails back and forth, and that's what we came up with.
Nice. I like it. That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Well, we can hear it again if you want.
Yeah, let's play it again. Encore.
Woohoo! All right, here we go.
It's that time of the week where we get some totally rational and well-adjusted opinions onto the pod. On the Sash, it's Hot Takes.
Hot Takes.
There's a serious banger behind that.
Dun, 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 dun,
If we win a flag, that is the disco party tune that we'll be playing.
Yeah, that will be it. But long way to go before we get to that. All right, let's get into them. Thank you, of course, everyone who sent them through, and apologies if you don't get played. Can't play them all. Some definitely cannot play. All right, the first one is from the Seymour sex symbol. This will be good.
Went into this game like most Dons fans thinking, here we go, North Melbourne, classic danger game. Let's just get a win. Walked out tonight, winning by 40 points, leaving the ground thinking, geez, that was average. Maybe we do suck. Not sure. And even as I write this, I'm sitting here thinking, am I happy or am I sad or am I disappointed? Not sure what to think. Up the Plains.
Thoughts, James?
Yep, that's sort of how I was feeling. Not sure. Yep, I thought that's a pretty good summary. I feel like it's one of those games, like you said, Rob, we probably won't look back on after the show's done tonight.
Mm-hmm. Next one's from Hurdy's Heroes. Thank you.
Yeah, look, that was pretty ordinary, but we got the win, and we're second on the ladder. So who gives a fuck?
Honestly, I could have played that at the top of the pod, and then that would have been it. And I reckon everyone would have gone, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Good one. Next one is from Benny. Thank you, Benny.
So I went to the game. I went to the Medallion Club. Thanks for the shout out. And I think it's fair to say that I haven't felt worse about a 40-point win ever. Like, I think North Melbourne, it's fair to say they played the best game they have this season.
Dogs.
And we didn't really play all that well, I felt, just from bloody being there, but we still beat them by 7 goals, and that just, all this game tells us is how fucking woeful North Melbourne is, but whatever. Suck shit, Ruiz. Go Dons.
Well put, Benny. Well put. Let's keep moving. Next one is a simp for Bradley Scott. This will be good.
I like Plains winning 40. Plains winning 40 for me. No, but seriously, last year, no Parish, no Riddler. Where would you put us against any team? And we're upset with only a 40-point win. Up the Plains.
Makes a fair point. Makes a fair point. Next one is Xena, Warrior Princess of Portsea.
Put your hand up if you've seen 5 premierships. Put your hand up if you want to see 6.
I've seen 1.
I want to see 1.
I mean, one happened when I was 2, but I don't know if that counts. So,
yeah, I was 5.
Yeah, 2000.
So can't remember much.
Yeah, I was 2.
I was playing Nintendo, Donkey Kong 64.
I was 2 in '93. So, anyway, next one is Nick Bryan fan, who we didn't speak about coming to the side, but I feel like there's a bit of door knocking happening with him. Nick Bryan fan. Here we go.
I've been to funerals more entertaining than that. Take the 4 points, move on, and get Bristol the fuck in next week. I think he had another blinder in the VFL, so surely he gets a game.
Bristle, I don't mind.
Huge.
As a nickname.
40 hit-outs, 15 clearances, 25 disposals, and 2 goals.
Knock.
Who's there?
Nick Bryan's there.
The Bristler.
He's knocking on the door.
And it's Goldie opening it saying, all right, well, go on, you can sit on the throne for a little while, mate.
Yeah. I mean, look, if Harrison Jones gets suspended, I know we all want Nate Caddy to play. There could be a scenario that we run the Bryan Goldie combo.
I just had a great idea. Big Les Show type of animation. But it's Goldie, Draper, and Brian all living in the same house together. And it's the quarrels and the tales week to week of what happens.
It's a big ruck show.
Yeah. And just Brian just like practicing hit outs in the backyard constantly. Draper sitting down, just drinking a beer, managing his injuries.
Yeah.
Goldie, like, I don't know, studying fucking ruck philosophy books or something like that.
Yeah. I like it a lot. GC from the B. This person sends a few in. They're usually good. Here we go.
With quiet pride, we take the win. No fanfare needed. That would almost be a sin. The game was played. The battle won. We're second on the ladder. The haters have begun. No need to gloat and no need to shout, but better games needed, without a doubt. What will it take? Us fans do our bit until the footy world stops saying, we're fucking shit. Minimum 10-goal win next week. That'll help ease the pain. See you all then.
Yeah.
Go the Plains.
There we go.
To see us win again is how he should have ended that. But all right.
Hey.
It was really good aside from the last line.
We
love work on the last line.
We love a bit of poetry on this show. We love a bit of amateur poetry.
But the octave was too high. It needed to be spoken like this.
There's only one man for that job.
Yeah, exactly. We'll keep moving. The Dish. Thank you, The Dish.
When I come home and my body is a mess, I miss your pink nail polish and the way you like to dress. Come on over. Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, Guelphy? Guelphy. Boys, the Bombers got the job done. It wasn't pretty, but they got it done. And to Alistair Clarkson, who didn't want the top job at the Bombers, well, buddy, you can grab a spoon and start eating my ass. The Plains.
Oh,
jeez, that was good.
They
were actually really good this week.
That took a turn, that one. But,
keep it in.
Keep it in. They say keep it in. All right. Next one is from Benny McKee. Thanks, Benny McKee.
Mate, wow. 2 metre, 7-seater, North Melbourne beater, sexy 2 metre Peter Wright. What a game. He is back. He is back. Bit of a shame that Langers didn't get much of the ball, but that's okay. 2 metre Peter was up there. He was flying. He was kicking superbly. Best set shot kicking action in the game. Tell me I'm wrong. Anyways, one more thing. Special mention, Mr. Defender, Jake Kelly. Outstanding, mate. Beautiful. Mwah. Well done, mate. Good stuff.
There you go. He does have such a beautiful action, Peter Ryan.
He's
so
not
nice
back,
to watch.
though.
He's not back yet?
No. He had a 2-month-old baby playing on him. He may as well have not had anyone defending on him all day.
I mean,
honestly.
There's a chance he might not again next week either. So hopefully for a big one.
Can I just also make a recall? There was one commentator. He's not usually on, and
Matt Hill, brilliant.
And he said the 800-liter Peter. I don't understand. Why is he the 800-liter Peter?
He's bigger every week. I
don't understand it. He's the 2-liter Peter, the 2-meter Peter.
Yeah.
I think that's probably his last Sunday call.
Nah, Matt Hill's great.
You liked Hilly?
Nah, I love Matt Hill. Have you seen the clip of him commentating the baby race that would happen at halftime?
Oh yeah, he was actually not bad at that.
He's great. Next one's from Rob the Oracle. Oh, here we go. Here we go, boys. This will be good. Maybe I sent this one in.
Fuck, Rob, are you some kind of an oracle, mate? You think about Merritt winning 3 BOGs in a row, spot on, and then you said we win by 40 against the North. Pretty good, mate. Pretty good. Go the Bombs. Up the Plains.
Thanks, mate. Now I went and dug up the audio because this is the premium feed, so all the people who don't pay for the premium show won't get this.
Get it on.
This is my call last Thursday, so let's have a listen. Look, I'm gonna, despite my dreams of a 20-goal win in Ben Mackay kicking a goal, I'm gonna go more conservative. I'm gonna say a 40-point win. I reckon we'll get out to a nice lead, and then I reckon we might just kind of take the gas off in the last quarter and potentially just manage the game. Yep. Pay up, fellas.
That was pretty good.
Pay up, fellas.
Not bad. Although I was on that show with you on Thursday, Rob, and you've conveniently left out that Darcy Parish was your best on ground.
Yeah, we didn't play, so
he's done a car.
He didn't play, so can't be best on when you don't play. But yeah, I mean, I'm very worried to make the prediction for next week because there's the result that I want, and if I feel like, even though I have been airing it a little bit in the last week, the more I continue to air it, the less likely it is to happen. So,
well, you are the oracle now. So.
Don's by 20 goals. All right, it's going to happen. Anyway, next one is from, who have we got here? Let's go Nico the Package Jeffrey. Okay.
So, well, I was just wondering, is it too late to buy grand final tickets? Because we're second on the ladder, baby. Get around us, boys.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is too early. Absolutely too early. Enjoy the fact we're second, but oh boy, don't be buying any grand final tickets. I mean, unless you want to go watch some other teams play. All right, next one's from Alexander. Thank you, Alexander.
Hey guys, I wanted to record a little ditty like I did with the St Kilda game a month or so ago, but I realised I don't actually know how the North Melbourne theme tune goes.
There you go.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay.
Doesn't know how it goes. Doesn't know how it goes.
All right. Well, don't put another audio in. Thanks.
No. That's
You're better than that. Honestly, you are. You can produce better content.
He has before.
Come on, bring it on next week. I want to hear better, actually.
Okay. Okay.
I give you the challenge.
All right.
Sing the song to us if Richmond win, please.
Yeah.
We'll see if you get on.
Yeah. When we're from Liquorland. Anyway.
Oh, you want to get him back?
Yeah. No longer a sponsor of the show, but they should come back. All right. We've got to keep moving. I don't want to go on for too long. Dwayne. Thank you, Dwayne.
G'day, boys. It's Dwayne from Sandringham calling. Mate,
Calling.
boys, how bloody good is this? We're coming home. It's a Sunday night. I'm going to bed. We're fucking second on the ladder. You know, it was a bit of a scrappy win, but fuck it. You take the 4 points. You take the win and just be sitting on the second on the ladder. Best team in Victoria. How bloody good is that? We've got to start living in the moment, enjoying it, because you know what? We've been waiting years for this. Now it's time to go to the G next Saturday. Belt those bloody Tigers. We fucking owe it. And you know what? Just keep enjoying it, because who knows what's going to happen next year, the year before, anything after that. We're second now. We're coming. We're here. Let's just start believing, boys, and let's bloody get on it. Go Bombers!
Good call.
Let's enjoy it. Enjoy the ride.
Call back in.
Yeah.
Please keep calling.
Dwayne.
I appreciate those calls.
You do?
I really do.
You do appreciate. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good. That's good. You're gonna love these next couple, Jesse, because these are a couple of your favourites. These next ones.
Oh, okay.
I think the next one is Jesse's favourite. Garrett in Canada. So.
Oh yes.
Here we
Bring
go.
him on.
Boys, how we doing? Second on the ladder. 40-point victory. I'll take it. 100 points would have been nice, but hey, a win is a win. And yes, I did see Andy McGrath's interview last week, or Andy McGrath, as he would be called in Canada. How sick would it have been if you just busted out the old Canadian ice hockey accent, though, instead? Be like, oh, yeah, bud, we're just out there 4 quarters, just giving her 110%, hey? You know, all lines are firing. Coach wants us to get the balls deep. We're getting balls deep in there, the forward line. We got 2-liter, 7-seater, crashing packs, taking max, kicking bags out there. I tell you, you know, everyone's buying in. It's crunch time. You know, we got to keep going. You know, we got the depth out there. All the boys feeling it. 110%, boys. Up the plains.
Oh, that's too good.
He's a good man.
That's too good. That's too
One
good.
of the goats.
And we'll cross the Atlantic.
Are we going to the Scotsman?
It's amazing how, unbeknownst to them, in the order they receive these, must be because something to do with the time zones. That
They're
I
always together.
I always get them one after another. So
Yes.
we'll cross the Atlantic, and Rory's in Scotland. So
Rory.
I do not want to hear anyone moaning about that result today. On a day where Hawthorn almost beat Port Adelaide and West Coast wiped the floor with Melbourne, we won by 40 points. Granted, we didn't play that well, but we did the job. We are second after 10 rounds. I would have given my left bollock for that at the start of the year. So let's just actually enjoy it. Bring on Dreamtime next week, smash Richmond, and just keep this fucking bandwagon going, baby. Go the Plains.
How good.
I love that they both say the Plains as well. It's so fucking good. I do put it to our lads, both Rory and Garrett. I wouldn't mind hearing how and why you follow football.
I think they told us the first time they sent him in.
Did Rory say? Because he's watching other games over there. He's not just watching Don's games. It's like, what are you doing in Scotland? I froth it. I really like it.
If my memory serves me correctly, they both had been to Australia for a year or so.
Right.
Fell in love with the Dons and then went back home.
Jeez, when was that? 2017 for like 4 rounds or something.
So
very good time in a short time.
Yeah, I struggle to feel like they were watching Ben Rutten ball before they're like, this is it for me. Yeah, hopefully it was in a better era. More foreign, but an Aussie abroad. Beck from Oz. Thank you,
Beck.
Hey lads, Beck here, joining you from just outside of New York City. I rarely actually watch our games live, but I thought, you know what? This weekend, the first bounce is going to be live right before midnight, so let's give it a crack. Now, I'm glad I stayed up, more or less, but it's funny, I asked my husband a couple of days ago the same 3 questions that you guys ask each other heading into a new round. His responses were, now bear in mind he's American, didn't really know much about AFL until he met me. Who are we playing and where are they on the ladder? So when I told him it was North and they're bottom of the ladder, he's like, alrighty, we're going to win by 150 points. Shiel's going to be best on ground. Now, in my hubby's defense, his actual response to that question was, who's the new guy again? And he said that Merritt would get 6. 3 goals. Now, definitely possible in that last part, but must admit, I had Langers pegged for 6 goals on his race for the Coleman. I had us winning by a hefty 87 points. Definitely don't know what I was thinking there. And I had Ricky Martin best on.
Ricky.
With our predictions. But hey, boys, you know what? A win is a win. We've got another 4 points in the bag and second place, baby. Up the Plains.
How good.
Nice.
Did you notice the really fine touch that We Are the Champions was
In
just
the
playing
back.
in the background the whole time? That was great. That was absolutely great.
I froth Beck.
Yeah, that was really good.
I think like I'm kind of a little bit in love with Beck.
Yeah, don't tell your fiance that. Yeah.
Beck's, no. You know, it's a Don's love.
It's a Don's
love.
Beck is far too articulate to be calling him a hot take.
I know.
Way too intelligent.
Speaks so well.
Yeah.
So well.
Yeah, compared to some of the other stuff that does not make it to air. We'll go one more. Actually, we'll go two more. Okay, this one is from... Actually, we'll go three more. I'm in the mood. Let's keep going. We've got acrophobia here.
Oh, gee, I don't know about this, Brad. You sure we should be going up this high? I don't do well with heights, and I'm starting to get real dizzy. Worsfold never made us go up this high. I don't think we should be doing this. This doesn't seem safe. I want Mum.
Uncharted territory for sure.
Uncharted territory for sure. All right, this could be an interesting one. So one has been sent through during the pod, and I was actually testing the audio levels with it, but I haven't listened to it. So this could be a case of a deleted post play, but let's give it a go. This is from the Twins. Let's see how this one goes.
And I go up Island and Maddie Salsa. He's really good looking. No smelly really don't go football team. They so just fold already. Sometimes.
What?
I don't know what that was.
I sounded like I was in a nightmare just then.
Up the plains at the end, I'm guessing.
It's kind of cute.
Yeah.
And like back the marrying does thing. It's a good call.
Yeah.
He's definitely joined the hot crew.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's in there.
Yeah. I mean, we may only be second on the actual ladder, but we're definitely top of the hot ladder. I think there's no question about that.
Oh, for sure. I
There's
remember
no question about
my
that.
fiance was like, who's that? And you know when you get the who's that?
Yeah.
I'm like, well,
It's Peter Wright.
Look at them all.
Which one?
Yeah, correct.
7-seater.
But it was Daz, so.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Now, fellas, there's only one way to wrap this show up. There's only one way to do it. There's only one way to do it. There's only one way to get the little bow, wrap it on a package and send it on its way.
The man in the cave.
Yes, some say he lives in the basement underneath Marvel Stadium. Some say he actually runs the MRO. All we know is it's Lurker.
Nervous Nelly naysayers negative for North. Brad's boys begin belatedly. Then thumping third turns the tables and tells the tale. Rarefied air. Mighty Bombers.
There we go. The Lurker. To wrap it up.
May we praise.
Yes. Yes. Fellas, good stuff. Great show. Any final thoughts from you, James?
Oh, look, pretty lackluster 40-point win, which is a weird thing to say, but I think that's the best way to sum it up. Really good opportunity in a big game this weekend, as you said, Rob, to get one back on the Tigers, who've caused us a bit of pain. So I know that you said, and I probably agree with you, if we could trade this week's game for a really good showing on Saturday night, we'll do that. Well, we've done the first part. We haven't really come to play against North. Let's hope that the Oracle is accurate.
Oh, yes. Oh, God.
The one, the only Oracle. And you're on the money with a big win. But, not one to reminisce on, really. Bank the 4 points and move on.
Jesse, final thoughts?
Yeah, so in talks with lawyers about the big Nick Bryan show. So if anyone is a good animator out there, hit me up. Jesse Lucchese is where you can reach me, and let's talk because I'm keen to get this show going.
the big Nick show. Yeah. Who's
the Big Bryan show?
The Big Bryan show. What's the name of the the neighbor, the weird green looking thing? What's his name?
Clarence.
Clarence. Who's Clarence? Is Clarence an Essendon player, or is Clarence like an AFL umpire or something? Yeah.
I think.
Who's Sassy? That's what I want to know.
Well, do you know
who's on the volcano
do you know
bomb?
the big angry guy is?
Yeah.
The Weapon.
Okay. Oh God.
Yeah, he's in.
Oh God.
The Weapon's back in.
Don't mention that name.
I think Clarence can be Woosha.
Clarence is Woosha. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
You're like, just take the learnings. Just take the learnings. Yeah. Just sitting in the backyard watching Brian do hit outs. Take the learnings. Just take them. Just take them.
Been a long time since I've watched the Big Les show. Maybe that's something for me to do
And maybe
tonight.
Rutten can be the cop. The random cop.
The random cop guy.
Who lives in the street.
Yeah. Oh, no. The AFL umpires are those weird yellow things that screech and, like, try to, like, take over the world. That's
Yeah,
what they are.
yeah.
Anyway, all right. Enough about the Big West show.
The Big Brian show,
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah. Enough about a random YouTube series that was vaguely popular 10 years ago. Anyway, thank you, everyone, for listening to the show or viewing the show. We appreciate all your support. If you want to listen to Thursday's show, of course, you can sign up to become a premium member. $5 a month, and you get an extra show every week during the season. If you want to sponsor the show as well, hit me up. Looking for sponsors at the moment for the back half of the year. I think that's all from me. It's been a good day.
Just think about this, right? You can bring in previous players as well, like, you know, maybe Hurdy features on it. Or, you know,
Big Brian show.
maybe, you know, get Sheeds in or something,
Get
you know,
Sheeds in.
and you can do parodies of them, obviously.
We're at like
Maybe
season
we can
3
do
and Jesse's head
Ricky
down.
Ponting 2005, like it's Heard but spelt differently.
Yeah.
You know, like we kind of
Hyde,
get it.
yeah,
It's
it's
Heard.
Hyde,
Yeah,
yeah.
Hyde's coming
This
in.
has reminded me of on the Footy Show when they did Big Bill's house. Did you ever see that? It's giving me flashbacks to that as well.
God.
A mixture between the two.
God, that is a distant memory right there. Thank you, boys. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy your week, Faithful. Enjoy the fact that we're playing well and we're second on the ladder. It's been a long time coming, so just enjoy it. Just have fun with it. And fingers crossed that we can live out my dream for dream time, and that's to put Richmond to the absolute fucking sword. Catch you later. Bye!